Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me for my review of AMAIM Warrior at the Borderline episode 11 Encirclement. We start off the episode with the AMAIM pilots finally getting to the fireworks factory, the temporary base. The arms dealer guy reaches out to Captain Watt, who's the red-haired guy that was following Amo and the rest of the guys for the last few episodes, but we largely haven't heard from since. He offers to sell him some information about Ghost, who we also haven't really heard from for the last few episodes. The pilots talk about what they want to do after the battle is finished, so it seems like they also just want this show to end. Some of the characters get into a little of the geography of Japan, and it shows a map of everyone's territory. I guess they have some sort of like AI prediction computer that's predicting that there's going to be a major shakeup of Japan and the NAC area is going to expand at the expense of the others. I'm not sure if this is the first mention of it, but the NAC area, which is where Captain Watt is stationed, is like some sort of like pseudo-Japanese autonomous zone. But it is sort of weird and highly coincidental that all the different group AI computers seem to all come to the same conclusion all around the same time. The characters go to this market where Amu runs into Watt, and Watt seems to recognize his voice, so they kind of do the bit where the pilots run into each other outside of battle, but they didn't even have the decency to have a tea party. Maybe I spoke too soon. They do run into each other again at the hot springs, though they do not have a tea party, but Watt does know who they kind of all are at this point and gives the AMAIM pilots the info on Ghost's whereabouts. This was a pretty weak episode. It kind of seems like every few episodes they have a cool down episode where everyone just sort of chills at the base. Unfortunately, the characters are way too one-dimensional to make this type of episode particularly interesting for this show. This episode was like 3/4 filler and 1/4 all the foreshadowing that they should have been doing more organically over the course of the last few episodes. Like, no one has really mentioned Ghost at all, and now everyone's mentioning Ghost. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to have some like cutaway scenes over the last few episodes where the different groups are reacting to Ghost and reporting on him and plotting to stop it, rather than have like one episode all about Ghost, then no one mentions it, and then they have like 1 or 2 episodes all about Ghost again. Similarly about the Borderline shakeup, it seems like something that could have easily been interspliced during the other episodes. It just doesn't really feel like there's a plan for this show, and they just sort of make up each episode as they go along. I'm sure that's probably not true, but that's how it feels watching the show. It's getting harder and harder to ignore the fact that the show isn't really going anywhere. I mean, I'm 11 episodes in, so I'll stick with it to the end, but I would have a hard time recommending this show to anyone. But at least they didn't waste an entire episode on going to the hot springs. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate it if you could thumbs up the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't enjoy the video, tell me about it in the comments. I do anime reviews on Monday and figure reviews on Wednesday. And please join me for this Wednesday's figure review where we are going to take a look at the Robot Spirits Man 010G Dre. Thanks so much and keep collecting.